Welcome to my channel. This is JC Rock and Metal Reviews. My name is John. Today I have a new anniversary review. It is the 45th anniversary of the self-titled debut by the band Foreigner. So in this video I'll just give a short history of the band. I'll introduce the members. Then I'll talk about the songs from this debut album. It did have many hits and a lot of recognizable songs. So let me just jump right into it. So Foreigner is somewhat of a supergroup. The band comprises members of some well-known bands from the 60s. So one of the founders is Mick Jones. He was from Spooky Tooth. Then there's also Ian McDonald, who actually recently passed away this past February 9th, 2022. He was a member of King Crimson back in 1968. And on this debut album, on vocals, we have Lou Gramm. And as the rest of the band, we have Al Greenwood on keyboards, Ed Gagliardi on bass, and Dennis Elliott on drums. So the band has a very unique sound. There were influences of hard rock and progressive rock, but the songs were very radio friendly. They were all pop songs, lots of catchy choruses, lots of memorable hooks. This album itself had 3 hit singles, and I will talk about those as I go through the songs. So like I said, the debut album was released on March 8th, 1977, celebrating 45 years. And there are 10 songs, so let me go through them right now. First song, Feels Like the First Time. This is a big hit back in 1977, reaching number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100. It's a very radio-friendly arena rock song, has a very big chorus. You do hear something like that, like psychedelic rock and progressive rock influences, in the keyboards. But like I said, it's a pop song, has a memorable chorus, and the backing vocals very catchy, and it's just really great album opener. Next one is another big song, Cold as Ice, another radio hit. Has that classic rock style piano intro, and this song reached number 6 on the Billboard Hot 100. Also one of those progressive rock types of elements in it as well, but it is a catchy pop song. The song does have those backing vocals, and it has that piano sound that drives the song's rhythm. The third song is called Starrider, and this is one of those album tracks. Kind of stands out because it does have Mick Jones on lead vocals. It's an acoustic ballad with a progressive rock sound. You hear that in the keyboards used. Also the type of song where you do hear all the instruments. They do kind of come in and out and do play a specific part of the song. The song is a ballad, but it does have a very big and epic type of sound, and like the other songs, it is very catchy and memorable. And this was probably one of my favorite album tracks on the album. And next is Headknocker. This is another one. I think this one got a little radio play. It's a hard rocker. It has the guitars in the forefront, and more of an arena rock sound. The song has those lead guitar melodies in the chorus, and also backed by this rock and roll style piano sound. Probably also one of the more memorable songs on the album. Next is The Damage Is Done, and this one has a slow building intro with keyboard playing. They're playing these single notes with the opening vocals. So as the song progresses, it does go into this very 70s rock style with almost a slight funk sound. Now once the keyboards come in at the near 2-minute mark, the song takes on more of a prog rock sound. They kind of follow this up with the inclusion of some acoustic guitars. The song even has a slight Beatles influence on the song as well, and this song is about a relationship gone bad, and it is a very enjoyable deep cut. The next is another single called Long Long Way From Home. This was the third single. It did very well. It reached number 20, not as good as the first 2 singles, but the main riff actually reminds me of Black Sabbath's Paranoid, so when you listen to the song, you kind of think of that. But the overall tone of the song is not anything like Black Sabbath. It's more of a progressive rock sound, but kind of packaged as a catchy pop rock song. I do hear those King Crimson influences here, and the keyboards, and there are some psychedelic rock elements here as well. Now this song is about a person leaving a small town and moving to New York City to try to make it in the music industry. The lyrics also reflect feelings of loneliness, and the song is kind of semi-autobiographical. It's about Lou Gramm's feelings after moving from Rochester, New York to New York City when he started playing music. Track 7 is called Woman Oh Woman. Mostly an acoustic song. Reminds me of kind of like a Beatles song, maybe something like from like John Lennon. The song has kind of like a psychedelic keyboard sounds mixed in with the acoustic guitars. You do hear some electric guitar fills mixed in there as well. The bass guitar can be heard very well between the verses, and the song ends with like a slow like keyboard outro. The next song is called At War with the World, and this is one of the harder rockers on the album. It has a hard rock guitar riff filled with power chords in the verses. The song uses like a lot of like those like military and war metaphors throughout the lyrics. You also hear like psychedelic style keyboards in the song, and I would say this song has a sound similar to a band more like Deep Purple, or maybe some of those like late like Black Sabbath 70s albums, you know, like a Never Say Die or Technical Ecstasy era albums. But this is one of the harder rockers. Next is Fool for You Anyway, another 70s style acoustic rock ballad. It has the softer vocals and the smooth keyboard sounds. Like most of the other songs, the lyrics deal with love and relationships, and pretty cool soft rock album track. And the album closes with I Need You, the last song. It's a harder rocker. It has a heavy like psychedelic rock intro and like a funky like bass guitar sound in the verse. The chorus is very catchy. I really like the slow building guitar riffs between the verses, and the heavy psychedelic rock riffs during the breakdown in the middle of the song. This is another song where it sounds similar to like a band, maybe like Deep Purple, but they have more of like, I guess, more of like a psychedelic rock sound to it. And in conclusion, so this is a band I remember very well growing up. They put out lots of albums between the late 70s and early 80s, almost like put out like one album a year almost. Now every album has a few very well-known like radio rock hits, but for some reason I don't really hear a lot of other channels talking about this band that much. It's a really great band, and they put out lots of like great albums during this period. This debut is, one of their best. It has lots of hits, but the deep cuts are also like very good as well. This is a band I probably need to like re-listen to some of these albums again, and I guess for me, I think it's kind of like one of those like forgotten bands of the 70s. It's not a band that I have been going back to recently, but I definitely need to change that. Let me know in the comments what you thought of the album, what do you think of the band, and if it's a band that you do listen to on a regular basis. So in my next videos, I will be going into the new releases, and the ones I'm looking to review are from Ghost and Love Hate. And then I'll do the Jethro Tull video probably on Sunday morning. So in the meantime, please remember, like, comment, subscribe. I will link some other videos right there, and I'll see you in the next one.